241, which is for toxic substances. Please find the table, and I will tell you about the table. Let's find, because, I'm sorry. I will answer questions. I know you have lots. An inorganic solid substance has the following specifics. Lethal dose 50 is and dermal one, derma, from the skin. Skin toxicity is 999 milligram per kilograms. Let's classify the substance. We shall first find what? The packing group. Do you need any help? Yes, wonderful. Yes. Great. We have, 999. Can I help you? I will love it. Let's find dermal in the middle. Did you find dermal in the table? Find the dermal in the middle, and then find 999. Where does 999 fall? Where does it go? 999 in the dermal. So, what packing group is that? My dear friends, let's concentrate and be quick and efficient. Packing group 3, right? Did you find it? You know what? I will tell you something. The higher the milligram is, the less toxic it is. Because we can endure higher levels. That's the idea. Okay? I will go with the 6th question. You can go again, Appendix A, go to 6.1 this time with no subsidiary risks, and you can find the most general name, NOS. Is your question after this? Is it this one? Did I answer it? Is it okay? I will be more than happy to answer. Okay? If you have any more. Do you? You had a few minutes ago, so it is answered, right? Is it okay now? Okay. You know what? I will ask you something. What do we have to do to find the packing group? Because we can only go to appendix and find the name already. Why do we need the packing group? We go to the table and find the packing group. But we can go to the appendix and find the name. Why do we find the packing group? Because we write it in the transport document. If available, you remember from Captain's part 5, we have to put the packing group also, if we know, if it is available. So that's why we find, the shipper will find the packing group, and because he will write it on the transport. Are we okay? Yeah, and the last question in part 2, a liquid this time is, let me tell you something. Are we all together now, listening? This is important. my friend was asking a few minutes ago. How do we know this is class 3? Class 3 has specific characteristics. Flash point, boiling point, to classify it, okay? Class 6 has LD, lethal dose, dermal, oral, or concentrated inhalation, okay? And corrosives have alkalis, acids. They have skin by exposure of time, by time. Exposure of skin by time and the observation period. When we intersect them, we find the packing. So we shall go to the relevant table, okay? Where is that? It is 2-8, because it's 8, you know? Class 8 is corrosives. All is related. Do you like IMDG a little better now? The more you use it, you will love it. You will start by liking it, then you will love it. I'm sure. Because it's such a nice induction. You know, we have to learn all the details. They seem irrelevant, but when you learn all and integrate, it's a wonderful body. Okay. Yes, let's classify the liquid with this table. You tell me which packing group? Class 8. Let me check. Yes, bravo. Class 1. Did we find class 1? 2 minutes and observation period 50 minutes. Did we find class 1? It is most dangerous, one of the most. Then let's go appendix A again. This is class 1. Appendix A. We shall find in the second volume, appendix A, we shall find for class 8. Okay? We have, sorry.
เป็นที่จะเป็นของแข็งก่อน
sorry, let's be at the same time, okay? So, I don't know if you're okay or not otherwise. If we are at class 8, it has two specifics. Exposure time and then what the second is, observation period. Okay? Thus our product has secondary hazards. No, only one hazard, right? Only one hazard because it's corrosive. It has the characteristics of the corrosive. So we know that it's a corrosive, which is that it is class 8. Okay?
เห็นไหมทันไหมซับสแตนนี้เป็นอะไรนะน้ำปิดของเหลวก่อนไม่มีสมบัติอื่นเพราะนั้นเป็นอาหารในตัวไอเป็นดีที่มีหาส่วน80เดียวไม่มีซับซื้ออันนั้นนะครับแล้วก็ดูproper shipping ในอันที่เป็นลิควิดใช่ไหม
Okay. Class 8. You can of course go. Yes. Do we find the name? UR number. A very general name. Good morning. Very general name. UN 17 corrosive 1760.
มีใครไปทำไหมครับ
Did we find it with no subsidiary hazard? Only one hazard. Are we okay? Any questions around here, sir? Master Harmons? Do we have any questions? We will go to more sophisticated. Are we okay? Do we have any questions? Any doubts? Any questions? Okay. Of course, we should never forget, when we write the transport document, we should put here after the name, UN number, packing group, and also a parenthesis, and the most important predominant constituent in that corrosive liquid. Otherwise, it's so general. What corrosive liquid? Acid, base, what is it? It's so vague, you know, it's blue, it's not clear. Otherwise, that's why we put the constituent in it, the most highest in percentage, the predominant constituent in that solution, so that it will be, detected and known because of the property. Okay. Now we pass to, do you need to translate it? Okay, let's continue with part 3. We will only find one. All of them are the same. Let's go over tetramethyl lead. somebody asks you, tell me the UN number of tetramethyl lead, he says. Or you want to find tetramethyl lead, if it's a dangerous substance or not. Is it a dangerous good or not? If we want to learn about if some good is dangerous good, subject to the IMDG code or not, what do? We go to the alphabetic index and see if that good has any UN number. If there's a UN number, that is a dangerous good. Let's go to tetramethyl lead. I wonder if you will be able to find, I'm sure you will find, but you will see something else.
คำถาม
Tetramethyl
เทสจากเทสเลยเป็นอันตรายไหมนะครับวิธีการตรวจก็คือจะดูที่
alphabetic index, volume 2.
เดี๋ยวรูปดูครับ
Bravo.
ถ้ามันปรากฏในบริเวณก็แสดงว่าเป็นข้อมูล
Bravo. Tetramethyl lead, volume 2, appendix, alphabetic index. Yes. What does it write over there? We have the UN number, and it has some small p. What was that? Marine pollutant. In the IMDG language, in APR, it is environmentally hazardous. In IMDG, we say marine pollutant. Yeah, it has a small p, right? It is marine pollutant. And do we have a UN number? Okay. Let's take that UN number and go to volume 2 again, the beginning, in the middle. We shall go and find the substance in the dangerous goods list. And what is the name now? Did you find it? Did you find the UN number in dangerous goods list? Small written is tetra. Yeah, tetra. Okay. UN number. What is the UN number? 1649. Am I correct? 1649. When we go to the dangerous goods list, are you listening, my dear friends? Are we? Yeah, you're excited that you have found it. I understand. When we go to the next. When we look at 1649 in the dangerous goods list, let's find it. Do we have the same name? Dear friends, do we have the same name? Why? Why do we have another name? It's not tetramethyl lead. It's not tetramethyl lead, but what it is another name. It's an equivalent name for tetramethyl lead, but that name will be used in the dangerous goods list. We shall not use
question about someone with a small capital or some entity is a capital letter.
I will tell you. But Captain Ufela told us yesterday, small written names are usually not used because we all see capital letters, you know? But tetramethyl lead and antinol compound are equivalent names. This means if in the alphabetic index it gives you antinol compound, then you will use it in the transport document, that's all. But as our captain Ufelen told us, also small lettered names are accepted. But we see, you see in the dangerous goods list, the capital letter is preferred and given like that. But they don't decline when you write in small letters. But capital letters is how it is given in the dangerous goods list.
So it's related relation with proper shipping name.
Proper shipping name. Proper shipping name. Tetramethyl lead will not be used as the proper shipping name, but we shall use this one. Motor fuel antinak mixture 6.1. You know, what is this? It is lead. It is poisonous. That's why we want to have lead-free benzene. But it is used for antinak, as an antinak mixture for the engine, okay? That's how it combines. It's not wanted. Lead-free fuel we have now, right? But it is put in the fuel. So, not to knock the engine. That's it. Thank you very much. You will find the others to gain time for the CTU code. I'm passing these, you have the answers, okay? This is how we find. We go to the alphabetic index and go to the dangerous goods list.
เคลียร์นะครับตรงนี้คือในบัญชีในอินเด็กซ์นะครับมันจะมีตัวเลขตัวสอบตัวเลขตัวอย่างนะครับถ้าตัวเล็กมันก็คือชื่อทั่วไปนะครับแต่ว่าถ้าเกิดเป็นตัวอักษรพิมพ์ใหญ่มันคือ proper shipping name นั่นเองนะครับอ๋อโอเคใครตรงนี้ใครมีข้อสงสัยอื่นๆบ้างไหมครับ
Okay. Our participants are great, really. They just follow very well. Thank you for all. Thank you, you all. We are going very well. This is easier. We see the UN number. We shall go to the dangerous goods list and write as we are writing in the transport document. You know what? Transport document, as Mr. Captain Ufelen told us, has a specific order. Which order is that? It's the order of the dangerous goods list. It's so easy, you know? IMO helps us with the IMDG code. How to write the transport document? You just go to the dangerous goods list and check. That's all. Let's find. You will find in the dangerous goods list UN 1435 as zinc ashes. Column 16A, because I'm asking here the segregation group. Where do we go to find the segregation group? Column 16B, the segregation on the ship, aboard ship. And we see, what do we see? Segregation group 7 and segregation group 15, two different properties. Where shall we find the segregation group explanation? It is in 314. Let's find 314 and check for the segregation group 7 and segregation group 15. Go to 31.1.4 and find the segregation groups. Check for segregation group 7, segregation group 15. Are we okay? Did you find it? Can you tell me that the segregation group 7 is, as it is written there, heavy metals and their salts. Did you find it on the page? 314. 314 is in volume 2. Yes, correct. No, not correct here. Because, you know, part 3, dear friends, part 3 is in volume 2. Part 3 is dangerous goods list and some related subjects. Did you see segregation group 7 and 15 in 314? We say 314. I have them in memory because I teach dangerous goods advisors as well. We say 314, 728, go there, go. In a few days' time you will be like that. Because if you use that, it's very good. You will always find everything. Yes, segregation. No. It's in part 7. But the real one, the longer one, is, as I tell you, 3-1. It's in volume 2. Before that, 314. 314. Here, you see, it's a long list. You see? 314. Did you find 314? In volume 2. Volume 2. Where is 314? Volume 2. Great. And segregation group 7 is heavy metals and their salts. And 15 is powdered metals. Now, did we learn how to find the segregation group places? Did we learn it now, all together? Is it okay? The groups are in between. You can find the group names. 7 is there. 7 is here. Okay. So, we shall do the same thing with UN 1182. I'm passing it. You will do the same. All right? I will now go to question 3. What are the special provisions for sulfur 1350? UN number 1350. Did you find segregation group 7? Here. 7 is on the side. 7.
ทำไหมครับเอเชียโพซิชั่นของซัลเฟอร์เป็น
and you will find 15 as the names I have shown you. Okay? Did we learn how to find the segregation group? Explanation. Okay? 314 at volume 2. Now proceeding. Question 3. What are the special provisions for UN 50 sulfur? You know what? While we were in class with the dangerous goods advisors, I said, whatever problems you have with any dangerous goods and you don't know what to do, go to the dangerous goods list. It will tell you. When you're confused about anything, what shall I do? How shall I find? Go to the dangerous goods list. The answer is there. So, 1350, we shall go to sulfur. And but Yeah, okay. But these are for segregation. I'm asking special provisions. Special provisions, remember, column 6. Special provisions for the substance, not for storage segregation. Special provisions for the substance, column 6. Can you give me the numbers, please? Special provision numbers.
เลขไหน
2, 4. Bravo. And it has another one, I guess. Okay. Where shall we go to find them? It's already on the dangerous goods list. It tells you. Where shall we go? 3.3. Are we on the same page now? Did everyone find that we should go to 3.3? Are we? You already know. Bravo. Thank you. Sir, are we okay? You know what? The list is 3.2. Dangerous goods list is 3.2. So you finish the list and then you find the special provisions. You will look, and when we find them, as you have already found, we have 2 special provisions. Listen, this is very important. Now I saw it. I remembered. 242. What does it say? Sulfur is not subject to the provisions of this code when it has been formed to a specific shape, granules pellets. Yesterday I told you, remember? That's why I chose this example for you to find. It will be carried in bulk, if in pellets or granules. So, it reminds us, if it's in fine powder, we will carry it with IMDG code in packagings, right? So, another special provision, 967, what does it say? Can you please read me? Yes.
Flexible bulk container in packet Ep.3 are only certified in accordance with 4.3.4.
Flexible bulk containers for this will only be allowed with 4.3 provisions. I want somebody to go to 4.3. Will you do that for me? What is that provision? We shall learn now. It says sulfur will be carried only by 4.3 in bulk containers. So let's see what the 4 is in volume 1. Part 4 is in volume 1. 4, this is 2, and there it is. Find 4, 3, 4. That is another question in the third exercise group, so we will be doing it earlier. Let's find what is 4, 3, 4 is. Okay, what does let me explain. If they are in this form, I mean sulfur is in this form, of course it's again dangerous good because it has already a UN number, right? But it will not be carried in packages with the IMDG code. We will learn about the properties of solid bulk cargo with Captain Ufelen in the afternoon. It will be carried in bulk. Why? What is the logic? If it would be in very fine powder, it would be more dangerous, right? It would be dusty. It is a very flammable good. It will flame easily, burn easily. Granules and pellets makes it less vulnerable, less liable to burn. Okay? That's the reason. We don't carry goods in bulk which are very dangerous. Can we carry infectious substances in bulk? Of course not. We don't. Because in bulk means it's open in bulk, in the bulk heads, or it's not, packaged. It's already with tons of goods is over there in the bulk form. So that has some reasons, as we will learn in the afternoon. Okay, did we find 434? Let's go a bit quick. What does it say? Can you read me? What does 434 says? I will give you.
Additional provision for the use of the flammable bulk container BKT.
What does it say? BK3 will be carried 3.4. Flexible, bulk carriers, bulk containers are only allowed where? Do you remember? It is here in the hold. Remember? It is now here. We have found. Yesterday we have learned about that. Do you remember? Flexible bulk containers will only be carried in the hold, not on deck, of where? General cargo ships. That's one. And another, they are not allowed in the CTUs. We cannot carry them in the container, in a general purpose container. Okay. Let's continue with limited quantities. A shipment consists of carton boxes containing two. We did this also as an example, so I'll go a little bit fast. A shipment consists of carton boxes containing two inner packagings. You had found this yesterday. Each with 10 kilograms of UN 1551. Let's go to UN 1551 in the dangerous goods list, volume 2. And Captain Jantarabakte had asked me some question. I will repeat it now. I remember the question yesterday. You find the answer, then I will remind you of yesterday's question. How much, where do we go first? 7A, right? Remember, for the limited quantities. Is there a zero there or a number? There's a number. What does it say? 5 kilograms. Great, thank you so much. But what do we have here? 2 10 kilograms inner packagings. Is it allowed? No, not yet. But if we want to find a solution, we only want to transport it by limited quantities only. What shall we do? We shall decrease the amount. And Captain had asked me, can we get the packages smaller? Yes, I said, we can make perhaps 4 packages of 5 kilograms, then it can be allowed. You remember that? And what is the maximum limit for the carton box? How many kilograms was that in gross? 30. No. I'm asking about the outer box. We shall put the inner 5 kilogram inner packagings inside, and then we will make the carton box maximum 30 kilograms. If it would be a tray, shrink tray, it would be 20 kilograms. But carton box would be maximum 30 kilograms gross, okay? So, we can say that limited quantity is 5 kilograms, inner packaging should not exceed 5 kilograms, so this shipment, as it is not allowed as limited quantities. But we can change the inner packagings if you want to send it under limited quantity. How much can we send? How much a shipment can be? One container, two container, half a container, 5 tons. As much as the shipper wants. There's no restriction. So, yeah, the shippers prefer this, if it's okay for them to package it inner and outer. Another question. A carton box contains 10 times 120 grams glass bottles of nickel cyanide. Nickel cyanide. The total gross weight of the box is 12 kilograms. Can this packaging be declared as limited quantity? We have 2 steps here. We can't go to the list because we don't have the UN number. What shall we do? We shall go to the alphabetical list in the second volume. We shall find the UN number, nickel cyanide, and then we shall go to the nut. You're doing this one. Okay. But we are not there. We are not. You found the cyanide, right? 16 something. Not yet. First we shall. Are we in this question? Yes. Okay. And we have to find the nickel cyanide from this volume. Alphabetical index. At the end. Alphabetical index is it here. You find the nickel cyanide. Find the UN number. Did you find the UN number? Alphabetic index. Did you find it? Bravo. You're at B? You're at B? Are you doing B? No? My dear friends, please answer me first, then go to the others. I was asking about the first one yet. Answer me so that I know that you understand, right? Can this package be declared as limited quantity? First, what do? We find nickel cyanide in the alphabetic index. There we find the UN number. What is the UN number? UN number is 1653. Did you find it? Okay, bravo. And then we go to column 7A to find the limited quantity. What is the inner package maximum? Did we find it? 500. Bravo. Thank you so much. It's correct. Everybody found it, I guess. 500 grams. What do we have in the question? 120 grams. It's in the limits. Great. So the inner package is okay. How about the outer package? It's only 12 kilograms, a box. What do we have as the maximum limit? 30 kilograms. It's also in the limits, so we can say that it's allowed to ship this as the limited quantity. Is that okay? Are we okay? Now, this B is a second question. It's a bit tricky question. Can this package be co-loaded in the same CTU with 2 drums of copper chloride of 200 kilograms of each? We can do this, but do we have to do this? Do we need to do this? One is limited quantities, my dear friends. One good is limited quantities. Limited quantities have no restriction with regard to segregation by itself and in relation to other goods. So, we can co-load it, no problem. It's limited quantities, no restriction. I have, for the curious people, a detailed explanation. You will go to that and study by yourself. It's extra information for you. If you're curious about that, you can go here and check with the segregation. If it weren't limited quantities, what would happen? Of course, it wasn't easy. We will have separated from, so they will not be co-loaded. But how do we do it? You can work by yourself later. It's explained in here. It's limited quantities, so we can. But if it wasn't limited quantities, we should go and check the segregation codes, segregation groups. One is, this one, nickel cyanide, is segregation group 6 cyanides. The other is segregation groups, the other is segregation group 1 acids. And what does 16b say about the nickel cyanide? It says separated from acids. And when we look at the other good, oh my God, it's an acid. So it should be separated. Also, we should refer to, there was a segregation table, remember? 72.4. We should also go and check there. But if we see here, separated, this one is more rigid. It means that it should be separated.
ตรงนี้เคลียร์ไหมครับเดี๋ยวช็อตนี้ปกตินะครับนิกเกิลไซยาไนด์เนี่ยนะครับเขาถามว่ามันไปด้วยกันใส่ตู้เดียวกันกับคอปเปอร์คลอไรด์ได้ไหมนะครับปกติถ้าเราดูตามเงื่อนไขการเซกเรชันปกตินะครับเราจะดูตามคอลัมน์ที่16คอลัมน์ที่ 16b สมมติว่าseparated form ซึ่งอันเนี้ยตามปกติจะไม่สามารถโคโลจะไม่สามารถใส่ตู้เดียวกันได้แต่เนื่องจากเคสนี้เป็น limited quantity ดังนั้นมันจึงสามารถคือ limited quantity จะมีข้อยกเว้นในส่วนของการ segregation ออกไปนะครับเพราะฉะนั้นมันก็เลยสามารถใส่ในตู้เดียวกันขนส่งไปด้วยกันได้ในตู้สินค้าเดียวกันโอเคนะโอเคไหมอะไรนะไม่มีเงื่อนไขในการ segregation แล้วครับโอเคไหมlimited quantity เป็นเงื่อนไขที่ทำให้ได้รับข้อยกเว้นเรื่องของการ segregation ออกไปครับโอเคนะอ๋ออยากจะคุณเห็นขอบคุณครับ
Thank you. Now, let's come to. It's not the microphone. I gave it to you. Funny, no problem. Now we come to accepted quantities. There's one here, yes, you're right. But this is better, I guess. I like this one. A shipment of 1,200 carton boxes containing 10 inner packagings of each with 30 milliliters of UN 24-26. Very little. Remember, this will be accepted quantities. Very little in inner boxes, very little outer boxes. Test examples, test samples, some things like that. Special products are sent in accepted quantities. Let's check. The total gross weight of each carton box is 0.60 liters. What shall we do? What shall we do first? Of course, we shall go to the dangerous goods list with UN number 2426. Okay? And where shall we look? We shall look at this time column 7B for the accepted quantities. What do we see over there? E0. What does that mean? It's not allowed. Finish. It is the same with the limited quantities. If we see 0 at limited quantities, finish. It's not allowed. So, it's not allowed. Let's see another example. Why is not allowed? Also, 1,200 cartons is not allowed. If it was allowed in amount, we should not send more than 1,000 packages. There's a limitation for accepted quantities.
อันไหนก็คืออันเนี้ยพอเป็นปรากฏเป็น E0 เนี่ยมันไม่ได้อยู่ในเงื่อนไขที่จะเป็น accepted quantity นะครับแล้วก็อีกเงื่อนไขนึงก็คือเวลาที่จะส่งนะครับในตู้คอนเทนเนอร์เดียวกันจะถูกกำหนดไว้ที่ 1,000 แพ็กเกจของ accepted quantity ในตู้คอนเทนเนอร์แต่อันนี้มี 1,200 บล็อกเพราะฉะนั้นอันนี้จะไม่อนุญาตให้ใช้เงื่อนไขข้อยกเว้น accepted quantity นะครับตรงนี้เคลียร์ไหมใครมีข้อสงสัยเพิ่มเติมไหมก็ส่งเป็นสินค้าอันตรายปกตินะครับไม่ได้รับข้อยกเว้น accepted quantity ก็คือเวลาที่เราดีแคลร์ก็จะไม่มีการใช้คำว่า accepted quantity ในเอกสารเวลาที่ขนส่งอะไรนะเวลาที่ติดฉลากก็ใช้ฉลากทางสาขาไม่ได้ใช้เครื่องหมาย accepted quantity เงื่อนไขในการ segregation การบรรจุตู้รวมการแยกตัวสินค้าไปการ storage บนเรือต้องไม่ได้รับข้อยกเว้นเห็นนะคือ accepted quantity และ limited quantity อันนี้จะเป็นข้อยกเว้นนะครับไม่ต้องปฏิบัติตามข้อกำหนดหลายๆข้อใน IMDG CODE ในรายการยกเว้นต่อไปนะครับแต่ถ้าไม่ได้เข้าเงื่อนไขแบบนี้ก็จะไม่สามารถปฏิบัติแบบคือจะต้องผสมเป็นสินค้าตลาดแบบทั่วไปเลยครับโอเคไหมอย่าสึกว่า
We have another question. I thank you. A shipment of 800 carton boxes. Now we immediately see that it's in limits, under 1,000. If it is allowed, we shall send it. Carton boxes each containing 120 inner packagings of 2 milliliters of 2504. Let's go to the list and check 7B, column 7B, if it is allowed, and if allowed, how many? E0, E1, E2, we shall see. Can this shipment be declared as accepted quantities? What do we see in column 7B? We see E1. Where can we find what E1 means? Check the dangerous goods list. It will tell you 3.513. You go to the table. What does E1 write? Can you please read? You read. Inner packaging should be how much? In E1 you find. What is the inner packaging maximum? Can you? 30 milliliters inner package. Outer? 1,000 grams most, or milliliters. So, do we fit in? 2 milliliters is in the limits of 30 inner package. And 12, what was that? Yeah, 400 milliliters is under the limits of 1,000 milliliters as the outer. So we are in the limits, we can send this. And 800 boxes is okay, under 1,000 boxes. So we can send this as the accepted quantities. It's over for 3. Let's start. Thank you so much. I will get one paper. Let's start only one question. One question from 4 and 6, and then we have coffee break. One question. We are now where are we? We are 4 and 6 now, okay? We have come to packings, containers, portable tanks, packagings, and the design area. Please find the suitable packagings for UN 0076, dinitrophenol. Let's go. 0076. What does it ask? Packaging types. Let's find 0076. The consigner will have a shipment, you know, but he doesn't know if he can send the shipment in IBCs. Is it allowed? What packagings are allowed? Is IBCs allowed? So he will know and he will send it to the consignee. He will check with special packing provisions first, and we will first find the suitable packagings. Let's go. Column 8. Column 8, endangered goods list for 0076. What does it say? Tell me. Which packing provision table does it send us? Which packing? You will go to column 8. Column 8 is for packagings, okay? So, P112. Did you hear, friends? Did you find it? For the UN number, endangered goods list, column 8 for packagings. Did you see the packaging instruction table number? Did you find it? 112?
ใช่ไหมครับ112
Did we find it? What do we see in 112? It says 112A, 112B, 112C. Both are for powder, solid powder, different forms of the same dangerous good. What do we see in these tables? We can send the good in bags. Am I right? As you know, inner packages in bags. This is combination. You see? Under that, we will see perhaps single packages, but no single packages. It sends us in, you know, in what packages? Combination. Inner, intermediate, and outer even. You see? 3 lines, 3 levels, because it doesn't want the powder to go out, to leak. So we can use bags and receptacles, inside, and we can put them into boxes. You see in the tables, all of them tell us the same. 112A, 112B, and 112C. We can see in which packages we can send. Do we have any special provisions? any special provisions, you will look just at the bottom of the table. Any special provisions? Do we have? There should be, if any, PP something, packaging provision, PP coming. Do we have any PP under the table? What was your name? Tuka. Tuka. Nice Tuka. Your Tuka. Okay. Do we have any packing provision? You're not on the table. You're looking at something else. Find the table. Yeah. But what is PP26? You have to go to the table itself, okay? Now I'm asking, Captain, do we see, find it, can you please read me the special provision? There is one only common special provision. Can you read us one of
PP26 for UN number NOS 0040076 as package shall be load free. The special package provision in PP26 for UN number NOS 0040076 0154 0216 packaging. Yeah. Packaging shall be load free.
Yes. You see, the packaging shall be lead free because it shall be lead free. There will be reaction with 0076. Really don't know. It's not compatible with that. So the packaging should be lead free. This collaboration. Okay, we are done with this question. We have found the PP26 under the table, and it should be, the packaging shall be lead-free. Bravo.
So thank you, Ms. Jensen. Such a wonderful session. We have shared experience and discussion in many things. Thank you. So, how many minutes? One?
Yes, 10 minutes.
Okay, we have a coffee break for 10 minutes. And we'll come back here 1030 ครับ10 นาทีเบรกกาแฟนะครับผมกลับมาประมาณ 10 โมงครึ่งนะครับครับผมขอบคุณครับ I confused again. It's okay.
But then
just because Malcolm X5 refers to IMSBC code.
okay, now I thought they ended maybe something that the guys couldn't find. So, okay.
Just it's a
So reference for-
reference. It's a reference. But since the thing is that this started because we want to do this mission that I told you yesterday, purely IMSBC. So we needed to go for
Because it's one of the big challenges we face. Discharge your bike.
Yeah.
You have 1 or 2 or 5 tons speedings.
Yes.
The only way to do it is either you discharge the next port, or you discharge in the same port, but then you have to wait for 2 or 3 days. That's you can't have a commercial.
It's a reference. We went in these guys as I told you, to see what they were doing in relation to the terminals, how we can access.
It's time. It's time.
With these guys, we didn't care about the charge.
Really.
That's what they
ตามคนไม่หน่อยจ้า
which is protected.
No, but it's a problem to it that it's
They are not watching, or maybe they were watching the taxi in the airport before loading.
for lower.
So they need to be that's why we do. Maybe you can mention that
I'm saying what?
So what's the next one?
A few questions and proceed to you. And start. But I think it won't finish.
So we are basically a lot of things
We have the CQ and
but we have to do
IMSBC.
films, of course. And we might like 50 minutes each.
Yeah, but one of them is super long.
No?
ครับเดี๋ยวเชิญพี่ๆท่านนั่งจำที่เลยครับเดี๋ยวแป๊บนึงเราจะเริ่มมา
Have you seen these new sketches? You don't need to go down. You just do like this. Without touching.
My ankle should be like this. Sketches don't have any.
What do you mean? It needs to be high? Okay. But you are not holding it.
No, just
I have to do it, but now I don't.
You have to hold it, otherwise it doesn't work.
this is not. This one.
No problem.
Okay. Thank you.
ครับผมก็เดี๋ยวจะเริ่มแล้วนะครับพี่ครับเดี๋ยวเชิญหน้าที่นะครับอดทนนิดนึงนะครับถึงแม้ผมรู้ว่าอากาศมันจะดูน่านอนก็ตามนะครับครับผมสารภาพตามตรงว่า 2-3 ชั่วโมงที่ผ่านมานี่เป็นการเปิดหนังสือที่เยอะที่สุดในรอบหลายปีของผมที่ผ่านมานี้เลยนะครับ
Okay, let's start. Let's start. Thank you so much. Let's look at the question very quickly. This is an easy one, very easy one. Is the dangerous goods UN 1167 allowed to be packed into a UN tested package with the code 6HA1? The moment you see a 2-letter package, what shall we understand? It's a composite one, okay? Two materials are used. Remember, you go to part 6. Remember the UN coding, package coding. Without that coding, we could not type a probabilities. We could not send back the dangerous goods without UN coding packages. All right? We shall go. First, you will remember now. We shall find the 1167 in the list quickly. We shall find it. And we shall look at, because it's asking about packages. So we shall go to column 7, 8, column 8, column 8, sorry, column 8. We shall find which packaging instruction table we shall go. Which is the table number? 41? Yeah. Then, yes. We shall go to 414. This is dividend ethyl stabilized 3.1. We shall go to P001, the first table for liquids. Remember the first table. Let's go to 414 in volume 1. Bravo. You immediately went to find that volume. Bravo. Volume 1. So, we check the table. What do we look for? Of course. What do we look for? 6HA1. Is it there? Is it there? We asked. If we find it in the table, it's okay. We can pack it over there. Did you find HA1 as you have to find it somewhere, HA1 in the table, HA1, 6HA1, because 6 means composite. HA means, H, remember, was for plastics, A for steel. Inner plastic, outer steel. It's a composite packaging. HA means composite packaging. Then, did you find HA1? Yes, just in between the composite packages. So we prove that it's a composite package. Because HA1 is a composite, we have 2 letters. Are you listening? Are you? HA is composite because H is plastic, A is steel. The first one is the inner one. We have inner and outer packagings, but they are taught as one packaging in composite. Remember, composite IBC, inner plastic, outer cage of metal, but it is taught as only one package. It's a composite. Also, another composite package is, nowadays we have bottles. Inside glass, outside plastic, to be light. You know, they are also composite. Milk bottles, carton boxes, folio inside, metal inside, carton outside, but they are heat sealed. So this is a composite package as well. Milk bottles. Inside glass, outside plastic bottles for fruit juices, etc. So they are all composite. Okay.
ทันไหมครับโอเค
Yes, packaging. HA1 is allowed. We find that in the table. Let's go for this. The same thing, the same, but this time we shall look for 1308. Let's do it quickly so that finish easily and pass to the CTU code so that we will have enough nice time for the CTU code. Let's finish with this. 1308, okay? PG1, be packed into a UN tested A1A1 drum. 1A1, 1 is drum, A is steel. Alright? You will find that in the table 6.1. First, let's go for the UN number into the DGF 1308. You will go to packing instruction, column 8. Which table do you find? P
อะไรครับ
P001 again. You go to P001 and you will see if we can have 1A1 drum. When we go there, column 8, packing instruction P001, DGL column 8, packing provision, there is PP33 also. We should check it. If we have special provision, we should always look at it. It may say something to us. In P001, PP33, what does it say? For UN 1308, for packing groups 1 and 2, because it is packing group 1, only combination packagings with a maximum gross mass of 75 kilograms are allowed. So this package is not allowed. Why? Because it has 200 liters, it's too much. And also it's a single package, the drum. We have to have a combination package. You see how important the packing provisions are. We have to check always. Is that okay?
โอเคไหมเข้าใจนะครับตรงนี้is
It comes from PP32.
It's also
This is a single one. It's not combination. Only a drum. Not no inner, no outer packaging. It's only a drum. Single package. It's not allowed in single. It's only allowed in combination. The packing provision says that. That's fine. Also, we have 200 liters. It's not also allowed. Maximum 75 kilogram allowed.
ตรงนี้ในข้อในประเด็นนี้เคลียร์ไหมครับเคลียร์ไหม
Shall I go back?
อันนี้ประเด็นของมันก็คือตัว UN 1308นะครับเขามี PP 33นะครับมี Special Provision ใน Special Provision บอกว่า Packing Group 1 กับ 2 ซึ่งอันนี้แหละ Packing Group 1 นะครับเฉพาะแพ็กเกจ Combination Package ที่ขนาดสูงสุดไม่เกิน 75 กิโลกรัมที่สามารถใช้ขนส่งได้ดังนั้นของเราเนี่ยนะครับเป็น Single Package ขนาด 200 ลิตรไม่สามารถใช้ขนส่งให้ตัว UN มาได้เห็นนะเคลียร์ไหม โอเค
A drum is only a drum, a single package. But it says you have to have inner outer combination package. So we cannot send it, transport it in a drum. What is the test period for cylinders? This is something different. I will show you a completely different part in the IMDG code, okay, for gases. What is the test period for cylinders for UN 1001? Yeah, let's go to dangerous goods list, find 1001. Which gas is it? Let's see. Yes, it is, you will find acetylene dissolved 2.1 flammable gas. 1001. Then we shall go where? Because test period it does is about the packaging, right? Which packaging instruction does it write in column 8? Packing instruction 200. This is for gases, all right? For liquids we have seen P001. For gases this is for 200, okay? Packing instruction 200 for gases. Now, in those tables, that table is too long, my dear friends. You have to go to the table and look for 1001 acetylene. Okay, let's search for that. No, we shall search for it in this table. Packing provision table 200. You shall find it. Just follow the pages. You will find some tables. Okay, inside the table 200. Which page is it, Mr. Kumare? 183, page 183, in the liquefied gases. You will find 1001. Did you find it? This is something quite different for the gases, another table. And in that table you will tell me easily what is the test period for cylinders, packages. Did you find it? Yes, 10 years. It is here for gases, all right? It is here for gases. It is 10 years. Also, I would like to point out that, just there, there are special provisions. Be careful about that table. In the final column, can you tell me which special provisions? C and P it says. Did you find it? Special provisions for cylinders. Yeah, here we find the special provisions for gases. Where are they, C and P? Just go back to the beginning of table 200. You will see the special provisions, C and P. We'll start somewhere. In page 179, you will see that the special provisions start. You will see C. What does C say?
Metal parts in contact with the contents shall not contain more than 65% copper.
The cylinders shall not contain more than 65% copper. Otherwise, it shall be incompatible, perhaps unwanted reactions, okay, with the gas. Those are the special provisions for gases, just for the sake of knowing. Let's come to the code. Now it's very easy, you will see that. Please answer from A to F for the given code, please. Type of packaging, the answer comes together. What was 4? 4 was for boxes, remember? If you want to repeat, go to 6.1. Volume 1, 6.1 is the UN coding. Type of packaging material, you will see that G is for cardboard boxes. Fiberboard, cardboard is the same. C, the packing group it is used for, where do we see it? Here, you see, we see an X. What was X? Packing group 1. And if it is packing group 1, it also covers 2 and 3. Okay? The maximum gross weight it is tested for, it is for solids, you see, 65 kilograms. You can see it over there. The year it is manufactured, 89. The country of authorization, France. Are we okay? I'm going to the second one. This one I could not tell as long as I wanted. This is a recondition or renewed package because we see R at the end, okay? That means that package is not new, it's renewed. Now, if we have renewed packages, we have the country here, Netherlands, is not the originating country. It's the country which renewed the package. And this year is not the manufacture year, it's the renewal year. Okay, this time it is like that with the R. And this R means also tested for leakage. Renewed and tested for leakage. Can you renew plastic packagings? No, no.
พลาสติก
We don't renew them. What do you think? Metal packagings, for example, steel mostly, aluminum perhaps, okay? Carton boxes, of course not. Plastics, no. Metal, steel packagings can be renewed. That's why you will always see steel or some metal here. Not 4G packages for renewal. Carton boxes. They are only for one use. This is reconditioned. Is the packaging for solids or liquids? Do we see an S here? We don't see an S. Do we? Is it liquid or solid? Yes. Correct. Do we see an S here, solid S? No. If there was an S here in the middle, it would be even for solids either or for combination packagings. This is for liquids. The type and material of the packaging, one is drum, A is steel. My dear friends, as you see in that table. The type and material of the packaging, the type is the steel drum, but if it ends with 1, you will see in that table, 613, you will see that non-removable head is 1. What do we mean by non-removable head? We have a drum, steel drum, but remember some oil cans have very small mouth over there. It is non-removable. If we have a circle cover, that is removable. When the dangerous good is too dangerous, we have only non-removable openings. That's all.
เป็นเรื่องของโค้ดนี้อันนี้ใช่ไหมครับอันนี้มีหลายประเด็นเลยโอเคอันแรกเลยก็คือนิวหรือเปล่านะครับเนื่องจากมันมีตัว R อยู่คือ recondition หรือ renew นะครับก็หมายถึงไม่ใช่ของใหม่นะฮะ L คือ leak proof นะครับทดสอบเป็นการ leak แล้วถัดไปคำถามคือเป็น solid หรือ liquid นะครับบล็อกนี้ไม่มีตัว S ไม่มีตัว S ปรากฏขึ้นมาแสดงว่าเป็น liquid นะครับถ้ามีตัว S ก็คือ solid หรือไม่ก็สำหรับไอ้บรรจุภัณฑ์ร่วม combination package นะครับอันสุดท้ายเขาถามว่า material เป็นอะไรดูจากโค้ดตัวนี้ครับเนื่องจากเป็นตัว A ก็จะตอบได้ว่าเป็นสตีลทีนี้ไอ้ตัวลักษณะของมัน remove non remove เนี่ยนะครับดูทั้งบล็อกเลยก็คือ 1 ไปดูในตารางนะครับเราจะเห็นได้ว่ามันคือ non removable head steel rod นะครับที่เขาอธิบายเพิ่มเติมไปก็คือว่าถ้าฝามันปิด2ด้านแล้วก็มีรูสำหรับเติมอันนี้เป็น non remove สำหรับในตัวสินค้าตัวที่มันอัตราสูงกว่าครับผม
ฝ
larger than 7 centimeters of non-movable plate.
We should go into different types of drums. We have in part 6 types of drums. At 6.4, you will see that different designs. It's very detailed question. Not recommended at the moment. It's a design criteria. You can go and see lots of different designs, and then you will see we have, no, not here. We have some, yes, test provisions and design types. You see outer packaging, inner packaging. You have to go and check for the, no, it's not okay. Plastic bags, test provisions, no types of, no, it will go later. We have different, yeah, the manufacturing. You see general requirements for different designs with ISO norms. But before that, we shall have the design types. But it's, it's not related with the general. It's a design criteria. I shall find you in the noon break and show you, okay? Later. It's a very unneeded this day. It's 1A2. Yeah. Yeah. When the good is very dangerous, it makes it, depending on the UN number, it will be either 1A1 if it's very dangerous, or if it's, for example, packaging group 3, I know I understand what you mean, packaging group 3, then it could be 1A2. Open easily, the circle cover, okay? How many centimeters? There's no design now. No centimeters. Okay? We should go. I will show you that later. Okay? The design criteria. We don't go into that detail too much. You will find it in the 6.4 or something. I will show you. Find it and show you. Okay. Does the code state the original manufacturing country? No, because this is the country which makes the renewal. Sometimes we might see both country names even, the origin and the renewal country, but mostly we see only one country name, and if it's renewed, it's the country who renews it. There's an interesting question. Which one below can be correct packaging code for UN 1774? This was a dangerous goods safety advisor question. When we go to the list, I will have to be a little faster. If you follow me, please. Which one below can be the correct? We go to the dangerous goods list, 1774. We find that it is fire extinguishes charges corrosive liquid. And column 5, we see that it is packing group 2. When we go to column 8 and 9, we say it's liquid, it sends us to P001 liquids, and it has PP4 special provision on the 9th column. What does it say? For UN 1774, packaging shall meet the provision, the packing group provision 2 performance level. Okay? We shall assume for this UN number, it is packing group 2. What does it mean? Let's check here. Can we accept Z for packing group 2? No, this code is not okay. Why? Because it's for packing group 3. If you see it's already packing group 2 and you read in the note also it says packing group 2. So this coding is not correct for this good. Let's go and see, is this okay? Is this okay? How can we decide? First we decide by saying that it's liquid because packing table is for liquids, and also it is for liquids, you know, this is the density mostly, there's no S, but there is something, a very tricky thing with this one. It's here, I will tell you. It's 2016. It is produced 2016 and the packaging is plastics H. How many years was it allowed to be used? Only 5 years. Oh my God, the year has already expired. We cannot use that. This was a tricky exam question. And C is completely correct. 2019 fits. Also, Y fits. If you are very detailed and careful person, you also have to check with UN 1774, can we use steel drums? Of course, it will be in the table. P001 has steel drums. So the correct one is C, okay? This is for you to learn different looking approaches. This is easy, you will follow, I'm passing it for IBCs. Let's go to portable tanks, this is also important. What is the minimum shaft thickness for a portable tank carrying UN 1831? We should go where? Whenever we don't know what to do, we always go to where? Dangerous goods list. Yeah. That is why it is the heart of the IMDG code. (1831). Which column? Which column? Shaft thickness. Oh, shaft thickness. Also, it says portable tank. You know which column it is. Which column is it? Portable tanks. Brown. 13th column. Okay? It is for portable tanks. Are bottom openings allowed for this tank? We should go to column 13. We should find the tank number. What does it say there? Which tank provision table? Which tank provision is written at column 13? Can one say to me? Which tank? Just say tank 20. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. We shall find tank 20. When you go to 42526 at page 251, correct, right? 251, you will find tank 20, T20, okay? Can you find the minimum shell thickness? 8 millimeters. This is how we find it. Okay with the portable tanks? Okay. Is bottom opening allowed? Bottom opening. Is it allowed? No. Then this is really a very dangerous one. It's not allowed. What are the special provisions for a portable tank carrying, now this time fine, 1428 in the dangerous goods list? Are bottom openings allowed for this tank? Tank instruction T9, did you find it? Did you find it in column 13? Tank instruction 9, tank special provision TP7, TP13. In the table 4 to 5 to 6, you remember the same table as before. We shall go find tank 7, 9, and it is stated not allowed. But, you should always check for, this is also a tricky one. I want you to learn this side as well. You should check if it is not allowed, if it's a liquid or solid, okay? I will tell you something. In the last column of that table, it says bottom openings, and you will see a very small B. Do you see that? In the heading of the last column, very small b, very small b. Do you see that? And read the b underneath the table. What does it say? Can you please read it for me? Can you see TP9? Here, T9, yes, bottom is not allowed. Did you find a very small B on the heading? Very small. What does it write? Please.
This column indicates not allowed. Bottom opening are not permitted. When the substance to be transported is a liquid C67261. When the substance to be transported is a solid at all temperatures encountered under normal conditions of transport, bottom opening confirming to the provision of 7262 are authorized.
You see? For solids, it is okay. You have to check if it's a solid or a liquid. That's the intricate part. That's why if it's a liquid, it's not allowed. If it's not a liquid, a solid, then it's allowed. Why? Because liquids are more dangerous. They can leak more easily. Solids don't leak out that easily. Okay? Which gases can be transported in multiple element gas containers? When you go to, it's directly, straightforward. When you go to 4241, you will see that it says multiple element gas containers are used for non-refrigerated gases only. Now, we did this already. Remember? What are the main provisions of the IMDG code for the sea transport of flexible bulk containers? We find it in 434. What does it say? Flexible bulk containers are only allowed in the holds of general cargo ships. They are not allowed to be transported in CTUs, GPs, GP containers. Yes, we have finished. Just give a 1 minute break. Are we okay? Do we have any more questions? Are we a little bit more enlightened? Yes, we have thousands of questions, but we are a little bit more enlightened, I guess, with the structure, with the skeleton, hopefully. Okay, let's give a minute break. I will find the CTU code and we shall start a complete new chapter.
ครับระหว่างนี้มีคำถามไหนที่ยังไม่เคลียร์ไหมครับรบกวนพี่สลาวุฒิด้วยครับมีพี่ๆหลายท่านน่าจะยังสงสัยอยู่นะครับก็ระหว่างรอที่เขาเตรียม presentation ก็ถามได้เลยนะครับในรายกลุ่มนะครับผมส่งรูปตัวอย่าง UN marking ของที่เป็นของประเทศไทยเราให้อยู่ในไลน์ครับคือตัวย่อของประเทศไทยเป็นตัว T ครับแล้วก็มีพาร์ทหนึ่งนะครับเป็นตัวอย่าง UN marking ของไทยในรายกลุ่มครับลองเข้าไปดูนะครับแล้วก็ผมโน้ตให้คร่าวๆว่าตัวไหนหมายถึงอะไรตัวเลขไหนหมายถึงอะไรบ้างคร่าวๆนะครับครับ
Yes, welcome to the CTU code now. It's a completely, not completely, of course it's correlated with containers, but a new part, a new approach for the containers. Yes, yes.
Just want to give you a piece of information. She's going to explain the CTU code. It's a code that we were saying is not mandatory, but it's a book that is full of good information for all of you that deal with containers, with or not dangerous goods. It has a lot of very good information. And there is another booklet that is called Informative Material on the CTU code. These two books, these two, I am going to give it to Mrs. Pro electronically, and she can pass it to you. Yeah. No, it's all right. Yeah. Okay, we will pass them to you electronically, so you can have it, because it's very good material. And they are also, as we were discussing yesterday, like this one.
Yes.
It's a circular letter. The two of them, they are circular letters. They can be found in the IMO logs, but we will pass it to you electronically in PDF, so you can use it, because it's very, very good to have it. Okay?
Thank you. Okay. The types of cargoes carried in freight containers have expanded through the years, through the recent years. with innovations such as the use of flexi tanks and other developments, heavy bulky items such as stone, steel, wastes and project cargoes, which were traditionally loaded into ship's holds, now can be transported in the cargo transport units. What is a cargo transport unit? It's a CTU, Cargo Transport Unit, the beginning letters. A freight container, it is described as a freight container, swap body, vehicle, railway wagon, or any other similar unit, in particular when used in intermodal transport. The use of cargo transport units, of course, makes it easy, reduces the physical hazards, because it's a big miracle box, it used to be called, but at the same time, if the packing of cargo transport units is inadequate in securing or packing, if there is overloading or incorrect declarations, there are some problems. The aim of the CTU code is to provide information and advice, to outline theoretical details, and give practical measures to all parties, to all stakeholders in the supply chain, so that it will ensure safe packing and proper securing of cargo transport units. Particularly, those responsible for packing and securing the cargo, who train people, that's very important, and who pack such units, who train people who are packing the units, and personnel involved in also unpacking the CTUs are addressed in the CTU code. CTU code is a joint publication of the International Maritime Organization, IMO, the International Labour Organization, ILO, and of the United Nations Economic Commission of Europe, UNEC, and it's a non-mandatory global code of practice for surface and water modes of transport, namely road, rail, sea, and inland waters. Until 2014, it was in the supplement, as Captain stated yesterday, it was in the supplement, but with the, as Captain also told us about, it is later revised and published through two IMO circulars, namely Circular 1497 plus Circular 1498 for the informative material, at 2014 with the session of 94th session of the MSC committee. Of course.
Just very quickly for you to know. I told you that this code, before it was a circular with recommendations. It was just a recommendation. Now it became a code. And it is done between the IMO, the ILO, the International Labour Organization, and the UNEC. UNEC, you know what is UNEC? UNEC is the same than UNSCAP. You have UNSCAP in Bangkok. Yeah? This is the United Nations Economic Commission for Europe. The one you have here is the Economic Commission for Asia Pacific. So these three organizations, they have been working. Why the UNEC? Because it happens that the UNEC is the one that is dealing with these international agreements for road, for rail, for inland waters. Yeah? and they also do the Orange Book. They just act. It's not theirs. They just step forward and say we can help you in doing that. That's why. And they are also helping because the containers, they go by road, they go by rail, they go by maritime. So they are in the middle of the picture all the time. And we have done this, and it has become a code. Recently, they have proposed to amend it. It's very new. The code is very new. It has I don't remember, 4 or 5 years.
14.
2014, and they want to renew it now, but it's very, very difficult that the three organizations, we match again, because before when it became a code, all we sit together, and we did it for 2 years, and then we had all we agreed, and it was very good, but now there are a little problems, and also we have the FAO, that is another UN organization, the FAO, which is in Rome, in Italy. And now they want to insert regulations in the CTU code, no mandatory. They want to insert regulations in order to avoid the transfer of pests through containers. So it's still more complicated because now we are going to be 4 organizations dealing with that, and everybody has to approve. If one of them doesn't agree, one little part of what it has been done, all we have to go back again to the beginning. So at the moment, this is what we have. It's not mandatory, but your country can make it mandatory. If you work with containers and you see that there is a certain information there that is important to bring to the attention of your supervisors, and you say we need to apply this in our ports, in our terminals, in our country, you can deal with that. You don't need IM anymore. You have it there. You will have the material, you check it, and it's the way it will happen.
Yes, very, very right. It has lots of useful information. Of course, 2 hours won't be enough. We can do it days and days, but I will give you a basic approach information so that you will be able to imagine and go as you like to the chapters and annexes and also informative material. As you see, MSC Circular 1497 is the CTU, revised CTU code with 13 chapters, 10 annexes, and also with the Circular 1498 is the informative material, 10 parts, IM1, informative material 1, to informative material 10. Quickly, we can see the table of contents, 13 chapters, you know. I will tell you how I think, how I interpret the sequence of chapters. You see, it gives the definitions. It introduces, gives the definitions, key requirements. I will just present them at the end as the summary, key requirements, chain of responsibility in the supply chain, the responsibilities, general transport conditions, then it tells us about CTU properties, CTU suitability, then the arrival and checking of CTUs. They arrive empty first. We check them. Then we pack cargo into the CTUs. Then it gives additional advice on dangerous goods while packing. And then completion of packing. And then advice on receipt and unpacking. Now the consignee gets it, the goods. It arrives to the consignee. And then training, and that is completed. There is a sequence of events, as you see. We have annexes. You will see 10 annexes. Information flow, safe handling of CTUs, prevention of condensation damages, approval plates, receiving CTUs, minimizing the risk of contamination, etc. I will take all the annexes into my slides. Whenever they are related, in the middle of the chapter, I will put the annex slide, okay? Just completing the information. There's also fumigation, training programs, and also we have the informative material. This is not part of the CTU code, but it complements the CTU code. Really very, very much detail in the informative material also. In addition to the annexes, okay? There is also informative material. Typical documents to transport, for example, transport document examples are given there. Consequences of improper packing procedures. I also took some informative material knowledge into my slides for you to see, which are related with the topics. Load distribution, manual handling, transport of perishable cargo, CTU seals, testing of CTUs for hazardous gases. There are really intricate and different subjects and topics related. Now we start with chapter 1, introduction. I get some quotes from informative material 1. Consequences of improper, this is very important. This is the basic need because improper packing procedures, causes of danger for persons, the cargo, the CTU, the vehicle, and the safety of the ship are mainly improperly packed and secured cargo, the use of unsuitable CTUs, the overloading of CTUs, misdeclaration of the CTU's gross mass, this is very important for dangerous goods and non-dangerous goods. Our approach here, it is not all for dangerous goods. Both are included, any types of good. Banana, car, dangerous good. We shall see many, but they have to be in the CTU, cargo transport unit, which are aiming intermodal transport. From the ship to the train, from the train to the truck, from the truck again to the ship. So intermodal transport can be achieved easily and quickly and safely, of course. Missing incorrect information on dangerous goods and insufficient control of humidity, all these might end up with injury to persons in the logistic chain, improper stowage of cargo as the result of missing incorrect information, fire and spillage, of course, delayed response action for the emergency incidents, delayed damage to the equipment and cargo, and of course environmental hazards, hazards to persons when dangerous goods are spilled, and for sure economic losses. We see some pictures here about container, vehicle, wagon, cargo damages. Any type of cargo it could be. No securing, no lashing. Also on the opposite side, to the driver's cabin, you see, the block, stone block. This is a funny picture because it is really silly and funny. It's never enough. There's nothing because no blocks, no lashings, and perhaps different types of containers. We shall see which container is proper for which load, type of load. And also we can see vessel cargo damages as well. You know, verified gross mass is very important and related with this. If we have extra weight in every container, with all the thousands of containers in one ship, you can see the stability issue, right? Perhaps in one container it's nothing, but with all the containers all together, it will be a cause for incidents. All these incidents point out to the need for correct handling procedures and proper implementation of related provisions to ensure safe packing at first, and then proper securing of cargo in the container. Packing and securing has to be taught together to prevent damage to persons, property, and environment. Also, security is mentioned in the CTU code. We have different publications for security also. International Convention for the Safety of Life at Sea, of course, SOLAS, has security parts. The International Ship and Port Facility Security, ISPS code, we have for the security of ships and ports and facilities. The IMO Code of Practice on Security in Ports is another publication. Also, ISO standardization publications on security. Also, Safe Framework of Standards to Secure and Facilitate Global Trade by the World Customs Organization, WCO. Later we come to chapter 2. There are definitions. I will only, just to show an example, I will take 2 examples from there. These are basic definitions. What is a carrier? In relation to CTU code, a carrier is the party who, in contract of carriage, undertakes to perform or to procure the performance of carriage by rail, road, or sea. Here you can see the description of the intermodal chain. With the description that you understand, CTU code is for road, rail, it is described here. You can could be the reference. Inland waterway, or by a combination of such modes, can be classified as, you know, the carrier could be road haulier, when you do it by road, rail operator, or shipping line. And then the consignor will be, if it is maritime, it is called the shipper. If it is road transport, it is called the sender. The party who prepares a consignment for transport. If the consignor contracts the transport operation with the carrier, the consignor will undertake the function of the shipper and may also be known as the sender or the shipper himself. Okay? Sometimes the shipper is the producer itself. Sometimes the producer has the agency acting on behalf of his name, then it won't be the agency having communication with the shipping line. And if it is, there also might be a different way. The producer is not the shipper, it's the producer. The packer could be a logistic company, and the shipper might be the agency. It depends on the agreement, commercial agreement. Chapter 3, I will tell you the do's and don'ts at the end, in the conclusion. This will be a summary. And now we are at chapter 4, chain of responsibility. Transport operations using CTUs involve various parties. Who are those parties in the supply chain? The CTU operator, the consignor, the packer. The consignor, you know, is the sender, the producer, the owner of the goods is the consignor. The shipper, consignor could be the shipper at the same time. The road haulier, the rail haulier, the intermodal operator, the carrier, and the consignee receiver. And there are all these responsibilities described in chapter 4. I will only want to describe you the shipper and the consignor, the difference. Different positions they can take. Just be careful with this, especially this slide. Although the carrier, generally in a contract of carriage, the carrier is responsible under that contract to deliver the cargo in the same condition as received, it is the shipper who is responsible. The shipper is very important as regards to responsibility and the correct packing and naming and declaration of the cargo, of course. Suitable cargo for transport. Thus, the shipper remains responsible for any deficiency of the CTU, for any wrong in the CTU, shipper is responsible. That is a result of poor packing and securing. However, when the shipper is neither the packer nor the consignor, then who is the shipper there? The agency. You know, there are agencies. Do you have the freight forwarders agencies just making the contract with the shipping line or the road line for the producer, the owner of the goods. When the shipper is neither the packer nor the consignor, the packer and the consignor should fulfill their obligation to the shipper, ensuring that the CTU is safe for transport. If not, the shipper may hold these parties responsible. The shipper may hold these parties responsible for any faults or deficiencies that can be found to attributed to poor packing, securing, handling, or reporting procedures. All parties in this chain should, we should say, of course it's a recommendation, but it's almost a must, the flow of information for safe carriage and correct carriage of goods, a risk assessment for all or some parts of the journey. CTU identification. What is the CTU? What type of a CTU? Seal number. Seal number. We shall talk about seal number. Seal in national transport is not necessary, but for international transport is necessary as the approval plate. We will come to that. Verified gross mass of the CTU, accurate description of the cargo, of course that's important, the correct description of dangerous goods, correct and appropriate transport documentation, any information required for the safety and security of the goods. Now we come to chapter 5, general transport conditions. Here I would like to talk about stresses on the cargo. Those are very important because they are those stresses that force us to make the securing and blocking, lashing, securing, because those forces come into act during transport as acceleration forces on road, on rail, and very strong at sea. I always say, when you compare the road transport, the truck moves, the floor, the road is stable. In rail transport, the wagon moves, but the rails are staying there. Imagine the sea transport. The vessel moves, and there is a lively, sometimes frightening, living medium under you. Captain knows, I can only imagine, he knows. The medium, the sea, and its different aspects, different times. So, sea transport is therefore has the most rigid provisions. I'm not comparing it with air transport. It is the most rigid, but we are talking about road, sea, and rail. Okay, compared to all of them, sea has. Let's see the stresses, mechanical and climatic. Mechanical stresses are forces acting on the cargo under specific transport conditions only. When the thing moves, when there is movement, there are stresses on the cargo. Climatic stresses are changes in climatic conditions, including extremely low or high temperatures. Let's start with the mechanical stresses. They are the result of vertical, transversal, and longitudinal. This is the horizontal direction, but transversal and longitudinal and vertical on the x-axis. They are exerting forces on the cargo directly proportional to its mass during transport. The force, I will take you to high school physics. We all remember F equals m times a. Remember, mass times acceleration. Here we have the mass of cargo, and acceleration was what? Gravity. Remember, 9.8. But with the movement, we shall have a specific c here as the acceleration due to movement, transport. This is the coefficient c caused by typical transport conditions. If we are at road, for example, with a sharp brake in the truck, you see what happens. You will remember the picture that metal piece comes forward if it is not secure. Let's think of ourselves, the security belts. If we don't have them and there's a very sharp brake, the taxi, there might be accidents and the people come off from the front window, you know. And this is similar with the loads. Rapid changes by road vehicle or by motions of the ship in heavy sea. The forces acting on the cargo then will be mg, instead of a, we have g, and also there's a specific acceleration factor, which is c, x, or c, y. X is for transversal, longitudinal, sorry. Y is for one is for longitudinal, which is this x. This is for the lateral. Y-axis is for the lateral forces. Both are on the horizontal axis, either side to side or forward and rearward, okay? Both are on the horizontal axis. We have here some examples for sea transport, road transport, and rail transport, which I will come one by one talking about that. But first of all, I would like to show you the tables in chapter 5. The following tables provide the applicable acceleration coefficients with different transport modes. When we look at road transport, You see, longitudinally and transversely means horizontal. Either longitudinally means forward and rearward or backward. Transversely means side to side. Okay? And there are also vertical coefficients of acceleration. When we look at that, we have, in the road transport 0.8, where forward, the most effective acceleration is the forward one, 0.8. What does that mean? 0.5, 0.5, 0.5. That means if we don't secure, if we don't do any lashing, any blocking, what will happen? If we have 10 tons of cargo in the truck, and if there is a very sharp brake, then that 10 tons of cargo will act with a force 0.8 times 10 plus 10. That means it will act 18 kilotons of force on the panel adjacent to the driver's cabin. With the sides, it is 0.5 times cargo, and with the backwards, if with a very quick acceleration, what happens to us when we are in the car? We just go backwards. This is the acceleration, the result of accelerations due to motions, movement. Forces acting on rail. The shunting. Shunting means the adding of the wagons to each other, rail wagons, or separating them. And they collide to each other, the wagons, so that those forces act on the cargo. But these shunting operations are not wanted, So to reduce these shocks, many railways organize their operations to avoid shunting. Block trains, not too many wagons, only one block, so that the blocks won't hit each other, okay? Or they use high performance shock absorbers in between wagons. Forces acting at sea, we have both rotational, which means an angle is introduced, rotational movements, rolling of a ship around its longitudinal axis, this angle, rolling. Pitching is from fore and aft, around this transverse axis. Yawing is rotational movement of a ship around the vertical axis, like this. You can see from top and also from here. You see the angle-wise rotational ones are yawing, rolling, and pitching. The linear ones, the linear movements are swaying, as you see here, from side to side, sliding, surging from bottom to aft and fore, its longitudinal axis, and heaving. Heaving is like this, the action, a brief movement of a ship along the vertical axis. Now we come to see the effect of these motions with relation to the different areas in seas. The sea areas around Europe, but we can, extrapolate it to oceans, open seas. You can easily simulate it to your own seas. The inner seas, like Baltic Sea, in Europe with wavelength height below 8 meters, okay? Is sea area CA. Mediterranean Sea, this is Turkey by the way, we have here. Also Marmara Sea is like A area. The Mediterranean Sea is B area, which means the wave height is between 8 and 12 meters. And the sea area C is the oceans, okay, open seas with wave heights being greater than 12 meters. When we look at these areas, we see that the value of sea acceleration is the most at, of course, sea area C, oceans, and here we can see with wave heights just exceeding 12 meters. Open seas and oceans, and it is, you know, it's in the CY axis. It is in the transverse axis. Why this is important? You may just remember perhaps later. It's important for the calculations. And the calculations, I will tell you, are included in the CSS code. You just calculate whether the lashing securing is enough or not. This CTU code is closely related also with the CSS code, cargo securing and storage. Yes, the forces acting on the cargo may easily exceed the capability of static friction and tilting stability, so cargo items may slide or tilt over. It should never be thought, never be assumed, because a package is heavy, it will not move during transport. Of course it will. Because mass is included. It will move hardly, but when it moves, then it will stop very hardly as well. It will not stop easily. So the securing should be done. We should never assume the weather will be calm and the sea smooth. The securing methods used for road transport will always be adequate at sea. No, sea is different. We should be more careful with our securing and lashing and everything we will see afterwards during sea voyages. The mass of the cargo alone, even when combined with a friction coefficient, may not be enough to secure the cargo sufficiently. Whenever the cargo cannot be secured by blocking, lashing is required to prevent the cargo from moving, or both. Either blocking plus lashing, they may be used in combination, depending on the characteristics of the cargo and the mode of transport. The securing arrangement has to be designed to withstand the forces according to the accelerations in each horizontal, as I told you, in transverse and longitudinal directions. In the horizontal, rearward and forward, and also from side to side, which we call transverse. There are also climatic stresses, the changes of climatic conditions, including extremely low or high temperatures. During longer voyages, especially, the climatic conditions, temperature, humidity, may affect the internal conditions of a CTU. You will hear, and you know already, container sweat, cargo sweat. Those are all because of climate or daily temperature differences. Do we want it? Of course we don't. What is condensation damage? You will see, I get some inputs from different annexes. You will see them here together with the chapters. This is from Annex 3, Prevention of Condensation Damages. What is condensation damage? It is a damage to cargo in a CTU occurring from internal humidity, especially in freight containers on long voyages. And it may appear in form of corrosion, mildew, rot, fermentation, breakdown of cardboard packagings, leakage, staining, chemical reaction, including self-heating, gassing, and auto-ignition. Here you can see the damages, of course, on different types of cargo. Causes are generally the cargo itself. The cargo itself may have high humidity, while during packing in some cold climate or warm climate, depending on the destination, it will end up either in container sweat or cargo sweat. Associated materials of packaging and dunnage, they may have high moisture. That's why we try to use, we try to show utmost care to have them with less moisture as possible. The dunnaging material, the wood things that we use to secure the cargo, the moisture content should be as little as possible. And also daily temperature variations of CTUs in longer transport routes, particularly sea transport. But, of course, aren't there any precautions? Of course, the cargo could be wrapped into sheets, plastic, tarpaulin sheets, so that cargo sweat will have nothing to do with it. We have to. Or we put some desiccants in the containers. Some other devices, ventilation devices we might have extra, so that these won't happen. Yeah, the daily changes of temperature also is a cause for moisture just integrating in the container walls or on the cargo itself. Now we come to CTU properties.
Shall we break and then you clean them after the break? Isn't that the better? Yeah?
Of course.
Because I think
Almost 12.
lunch is planned for 12, so I think better.
Thank you. Thank you. See you after lunch. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Ms. Janet. So now we are going to lunch break. เหมือนเดิมครับก็1 ชั่วโมงครับกลับมาประมาณบ่ายโมงตรงครับ13:00
No, we have played with that. Now it's 6, so. Yeah. Smoke? No, no smoke.
I eat a big breakfast. Give me that. Before someone else take it. Yes, I need it at 7 o'clock. You know, now 12 again. No, but I'm not like strict, but I try to. When there is a space, it's a space. When there is no, it's not a big. You have no.
That's very nice. Much sugar and cold is okay, hot one?
Just black coffee if you if they have it.
I would
No sugar.
That is very Mediterranean.
plain black coffee. You can do some. You like it?
But you are going for lunch? You are going for lunch?
Considering it, I just finished this one, so I don't know.
Do they have any questions on it? I was going to talk in Turkish. Sometimes. For example, I say ve instead of and.
We need